Kenny Hardaway 7T, back with another EP. And today I'm here to report on some news that I've been hearing for like the last week or so. Maybe not even week, like the last, maybe 5 or 6 days. Uh, I've been hearing news on, well, first I'm going to say this. The WBC mandated Ryan Garcia and Cruz to participate in a title eliminator for the WBC to decide who will be the mandatory to Devin Haney's WBC belt. We all know Devin Haney is about to step in the ring with George Kambosos. So technically, the winner of, you know, this fight that's on the table between Ryan Garcia and Isaac Cruz would be the mandatory for Devin Haney if this fight was to happen. WBC called it, and now they're trying to make the fight happen. Ryan Garcia has a fight date set for July. Isaac Cruz is coming off a fight with Yuriokis Gamboa. Shout out my guy Yoda Wise. Shout out my guy Nazay. What's good, Nazay? Appreciate you sliding through this, John Nazay. But yeah, and Cruz is coming off Gamboa. My sources, told me earlier this week that you know, if if this fight doesn't happen, it may not necessarily be Ryan Garcia's fault. I didn't make the video. I didn't make that video. I didn't, follow up on it because I wanted to see, more stuff to come out from the fallout of it. And I've been hit with more information yesterday, so I'm doing my due diligence today to bring it to you. Yesterday, Isaac Cruz made comments, himself. I think he was talking to Boxing Scene, if I'm not mistaken, or he was talking to somebody, and Boxing Scene reported it. Isaac Cruz said that the rumors about him not being sure if this fight is going to happen are true. The rumors about him, ducking this fight are not true. He said it is true that he's a little skeptical about this fight happening. He's about 50-50. But he said the reason he's 50-50 is because he knows that Ryan Garcia and Ryan Garcia team plays, a lot of games. They by that he means they make a lot of fights and then they pull out of the same fights that they make. So earlier this week he came out. Cruz, may or may not be ducking Ryan Garcia type deal. Ryan has a history of pulling out a fight, so the people, are kind of fed up with Ryan in situations like this. In this instance, Isaac Cruz is saying that he's unsure that the fight is going to happen because he's not sure on what Ryan Garcia and his team is going to do. You know what I mean? That's where the doubt creeps in for Isaac Cruz. So it is true that Isaac Cruz said that he's about 50% sure that this fight is going to happen, but that's because he's not sure if Ryan's going to do it. Now that's what Isaac Cruz said. Ryan Garcia also spoke yesterday on ES News. What's good, Yoda? Appreciate you slide through this, John Yoda. What's good, Yoda? Ryan Garcia also spoke yesterday on this situation. Ryan Garcia, he was training, I'm guessing training for the fight coming up in July. And I think Ellie asked him about the Eastside Cruz situation. He said, well, I'll talk about it one more time. I spoke about it on social media, but I'll say it again here. He said, I have a date set for July, and I've been doing, my due diligence to make that fight with Eastside Cruz because it's for an eliminator. He said it's up to Eastside Cruz to decide if he's going to fight or not. He said if there's a problem with there's a problem with everything that's going on, him and Eastside Cruz could sit down and they could talk about it and they could work it out. He said if this Ryan Garcia said if this fight don't happen, it's because Eastside Cruz, didn't want to make it happen. Eastside Cruz said if this fight don't happen, it's because Ryan Garcia, came up with an excuse. Eastside Cruz actually said that if this fight don't happen, it's because Ryan Garcia is going to come up with an excuse like he got sick, or he's going to come up with a health issue, or it's going to be because Ryan Garcia can't find his makeup. I'm sure Ryan Garcia is going to, come up with something. So at first the feel that I was getting from this was, does the people not want to fight Ryan Garcia? My guy Nazay said Cruz ducking. My guy Yoda Crush said duck alert. You know what I mean? So my first thought was, is Cruz ducking Ryan Garcia? And then my second thought was, is Ryan Garcia just doing, a classic Ryan Garcia? Pretending he gonna fight somebody with a name and then not fight nobody with a name. And I will say, in this situation right now, it's hard to determine, what's what. With this situation, I guess we'll more have to wait and see if the fight is made or not, and then we'll be able to better determine, whose fault is it. Because right now you got both fighters who are putting the blame, on the other fighter. You know what I mean, type deal. But both fighters are saying that they are willing to step in the ring with each fighter. Ryan Garcia said, "I already have a date and I have a venue." You know what I mean? He said, "I have a date and I have a venue. I just need, Isak Cruz, to accept the fight." And Isak is saying he's more than willing to accept the fight. He's just not sure if Ryan Garcia is serious about this fight or not. What's good, DS? Shout out my guy DS sliding through. Appreciate you sliding through this jump, pimp. He said salute skinny in chat. Church cuz. What's good, pimp? Glad you could make it. But yeah, the in this situation right now, I'm not going to say either fighter is ducking each other. It sounds like that these fighters are trying to negotiate. You know what I mean? It would be a duck if one side was being completely stubborn and not even speaking to the other side. Shout out my guy DS. But it does sound like that these two teams or these two fighters, are willing to fight. It sounds like there's more so of a contractual issue, what I mean, going on with Isaac Cruz team. It sounds like maybe there's more so Isaac Cruz feelings towards the Ryan Garcia team is they don't think that Ryan Garcia really wants to fight, and they don't think that Ryan Garcia is going to follow through with the fight. That's what they're skeptical about, which is why we constantly get reports saying that uh, Pitbull Cruz is 50-50 on whether this fight will happen or not. On the Ryan Garcia side, it sounds like they're more so upset with the Pitbull Cruz side because they feel like they may be being difficult in negotiations. So we getting two stories here. We getting Isaac Cruz saying that he don't mind fighting. He just don't know if Ryan really gonna follow through, gonna go through with it. And you got Ryan Garcia's side saying that Pitbull's side is being difficult in negotiations, and they don't believe that he really want to fight. You know, so somebody is ducking in this situation. Not really sure which. Is it Ryan Garcia pulling the classic Ryan move, pretending to fight a big name just to fight a smaller name? Or is it Pitbull Cruz, who may very well be skeptical about this Ryan Garcia fight? More information will come to the table. Eventually, we'll get more info on this. But, what I'm going to leave you with is this right here. Cruz said yesterday that he has no problem fighting Ryan. It's just the thing if Ryan is really going to, follow through with the fight. Ryan Garcia said uh, Cruz and his team are being, extra difficult in negotiations. If they both want this fight to happen, it very well could happen. We just got to come to the table and talk about it. So it's wait to be seen with this fight. I hope we get it. This is a good fight, especially when you add the WBC final eliminator to it. The winner faces Devin Haney or Cambosa for the WBC belt. There's two big fights in one. So hopefully this fight gets made and give us something to look at. It's a good test for Ryan, a good test for Pitbull, fan favorite fight. Two recognizable names. I'm all for it, and I hope we get it. But that's all I got on this video. Skinny Hardaway 7T. This ain't the past, this ain't the future, but just the present. That's how we rocking, and I'm out.